10 most protected people in the world. Number 10. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Undefeated boxer Floyd Money Mayweather Jr. is worth over $500 million and spared no expense on his $25 million LA mansion in 2017. Security is no different, with CCTV cameras and other state-of-the-art security measures covering the expensive property, which even has a suite on site for staff. This follows the fighter's former home being robbed in 2008, and after losing $7 million, he's visibly rethought his home security. But despite being one of the greatest fighters of all time, Mayweather's real protection comes in the form of his personal security team. Everywhere he travels, Mayweather is accompanied by 1,470 pounds of human protection. That's pounds in weight, not British money. His four-man personal security team wear the Money Team t-shirts, ranging from size 3XL to 7XL, the largest of which belongs to the 7'1" Alfonso Reddick. The former footballers, boxers and basketball players respond to Mayweather's instruction to put up that great wall, and they all fall into formation, hiding him from sight entirely. High salaries and generous bonuses from Mayweather even ensure that the team sacrifices most of their free time to be on call for the boxer 24 hours a day. Number 9. Jay-Z and Beyoncé. In 2014, US Representative Hakeem Jeffries rallied for stronger presidential protection by pointing out that Jay-Z had better security than President Obama. Although, in defense of the US government, Jay-Z has better security than most. In 2011, after the birth of their first child, he and Beyoncé invested in an armored car to keep Blue Ivy safe. They also spent big on protecting the hospital where their first child was born. Reports claim that Beyoncé had spent $1.3 million on a bulletproof maternity ward, and although the couple denied these claims, security was indeed tight. That's according to Neil Coulon of Brooklyn, who claims he was unable to visit his twin daughters in the same hospital because Beyoncé's security would not let him in. Their next big security investment came in 2014, when the power couple built a security fortress on their $88 million Bel Air mansion. This included a 10-car carport and living quarters solely for their security team. That was to protect their assets while on their On the Run 2 tour, which in turn saw them hire 500 security staff. This included 16 personal bodyguards watching the couple and their daughter 24/7. Number 8. Bill Gates. Given his fluctuating status as the richest man in the world, it's no surprise that Microsoft founder Bill Gates surrounds himself with extensive security. But Gates reassessed his personal safety after he was hit in the face with a pie in 1999, and these precautions have increased to, frankly, Bond villain levels. His $150 million lakeside complex outside Seattle was built with the most high-tech security systems in the world. One of the most impressive of these is a PIN system where every guest controls their preferred room temperature, music, and other variables through a PIN pad. This hospitality function also allows the house to recognize when unauthorized visitors enter by their lack of a PIN pad and even their weight not matching that of any approved guests. Said guests are also heavily protected, like the attendees of Gates' National Governors Association party in 2004. The party had Homeland Security manning the doors, and the security perimeter blocked large parts of Lake Washington. While the lake is public, getting too close to Gates' complex on Lake Washington will see you swarmed by security speedboats in a matter of seconds, and promptly turned around. Number 7. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise's approach to secrecy and security is no different to the enigmatic religion of which he's a member and benefactor. In 2008, The Telegraph reported that the Mission Impossible star had been receiving death threats from anti-Scientology activists. A source told the paper that this scared Cruise so much he'd informed the FBI and requested protection for him and his family. This went so far as Cruise traveling in bomb-proof cars and living in a separate location to his daughter Suri and then wife Katie Holmes. Reports even claim that Cruise built an underground bunker in his Colorado estate at the cost of around $7 million. An anonymous source even described the survival bunker as having a high-tech air purifying system where up to 10 people can survive for years. In 2013, it was reported that Cruise spent $50,000 a week alone on protection for his daughter. This provided her double the 2 rings of security agents that he had following him. It's even believed Suri had a body double for extra protection, although recent reports claiming Cruise is estranged from his daughter may scupper this heavy security detail. Number 6. Vladimir Putin. Russia's Federal Protection Service is an agency as secretive as they are powerful. Tasked primarily with the protection of body number one, that's Vladimir Putin, the agency's origins lie in the KGB and share their ruthless reputation. Allegedly, their methods include the use of a Putin body double for his more dangerous engagements and a number of underhand techniques to safeguard the president. Despite limited to no public data existing about the group, it's believed that its members retain the right to wiretap, detain and search the homes of Russia's citizens. They also have control of every main street in Moscow between state agency buildings and other sensitive sites, keeping dossiers on their residents to provide the president safe passage. Of the over 50,000 members of the service, as many as 3,000 specifically work for the Presidential Security Service, many of whom are rewarded for their loyalty with valuable land. In 2019, it was even revealed that GPS spoofing technology had been used to mask the location and movements of the president with false GPS signals, although Russia officially denies responsibility. Number 5. Pope Francis. At over 500 years old, the Pontifical Swiss Guard is one of the oldest standing military units in the world. Founded in 1506 by Pope Julius II, the small army is made up of top ex-members of the Swiss Armed Forces and must be unmarried 19 to 30-year-old Catholic males. The Guard serves to protect the Pope and guard the Vatican. Early on, they were embroiled in a number of military engagements, but in recent history, the role has become more ceremonial. That was until 1981, when Pope John Paul II was shot 4 times. According to church historian Alistair Sear, security then became top priority. This saw 3 other papal assassination plots uncovered, using a range of new technologies including video surveillance and large databases of potential suspects. The Swiss Guard now receive extra training in lethal and non-lethal weapons, surveillance, VIP protection and crowd control. They may not look particularly dangerous with their 15th century halberds, but the Swiss Guard also boast one of the world's most impressive arsenals. This includes the same armor-piercing rifles favoured by the SEAL Team 6 and a host of other advanced weaponry that allow them to safeguard the Holy Father. Number 4. Mark Zuckerberg. Facebook's controversial billionaire creator has always spent more on security than his Silicon Valley peers. In 2017, the US Securities and Exchange Commission showed that Facebook spent $4.26 million alone on its CEO's protection. The next highest spend on security for a tech CEO was the $1.6 million a year spent on Amazon's Jeff Bezos. And Zuckerberg's security was 20 times the amount spent on Apple's Tim Cook. Between 2012 and 2017, Zuckerberg's personal security costs increased more than 500%. But this was dwarfed again in 2018. Zuckerberg decided to up his protection again, and Facebook approved a $10 million annual budget for him to do so. This excessive budget can be put down to a number of factors, not least Zuckerberg's famed paranoia. In 2013, he bought 4 houses surrounding his Silicon Valley house for the massively marked up price of $30 million, but allegedly leased them back to their owners. Supposedly, Zuckerberg did this on the condition that he would decide who would replace the tenants if they chose to move, ensuring he always had trustworthy neighbors. Number 3. Donald Trump. Love or hate him, I'm sure you'll tell me in the comments down below regardless, it's hard to deny that Donald Trump has a fair amount of critics, which is certainly reflected in his security budget. For example, according to conservative think tank Judicial Watch, protecting President Obama and his family during his incumbency cost roughly $16 million a year. But the LA Times reported that Trump racked in a security debt of $29.4 million after just 100 days as president. As well as this, Congress projected a budget of $120 million for the Trump family for the year. That's just a few million shy of the budget for all 8 years under Obama. But even before he reached the White House, Trump was a well-known figure with an extensive security detail. For instance, for 120 days prior to the election on November 9th, presidential candidates still in the race are granted protection by the Secret Service. But to be doubly safe, Trump's campaign continued funding private security, spending $262,074 on it in just over a month, between October 20th and November 28th. This meant he was covered 24/7 not only by the best private security money could buy, but also the best the taxpayer could offer. Not to mention the fleet of armoured cars and planes granted to him as president. Number 2. Kim Jong-un. In 2018, Kim Jong-un's security team became a source of global fascination when they were seen running in formation around the dictator's car. According to Washington Post Beijing bureau chief Anna Fifield, Kim got this human shield idea from watching Clint Eastwood in the Line of Fire as a boy. The rest of the Supreme Leader's security measures don't sound any less like they come from a movie either. Allegedly, Kim's food is all taste tested to avoid poisoning, And his personal toilet follows him everywhere, so foreign governments can't analyse his DNA for health information. These security measures are all overseen by the 100,000-strong Supreme Guard Command, but only the most elite of this group are selected for Kim's Guard Command. The only people allowed to carry firearms near Kim are painstakingly selected for their health, eyesight, martial arts and firearm capabilities, as well as their looks and personality. Bodyguards must also be around the same height as the diminutive dictator and are only selected from North Korea's most loyal political families. According to defector Ri Yong-guk, up to 6 different layers of these guards form a security blanket even a single ant would find it hard to go through. Number 1. Queen Elizabeth II. Britain's current monarch is so heavily protected by an array of armed personnel that in 2017, when she went for an unannounced stroll in the garden, it almost got her shot. Elizabeth II was thought to be an intruder and was quickly spotted by one of the Royal Protection Squad, who protect her 24 hours a day, except seemingly from herself. The squad was formed in 1983, and today a reported 185 SAS-trained officers watch over the royal family at an annual cost of around 27 million British taxpayer pounds. The RPS operates out of a former police station which was built next to the palace at the cost of $1.9 million following a security breach in 1982. This all sounds pretty reasonable for the head of the British Empire, but the true extent of Elizabeth's protection was exemplified in a 1960s visit to Pakistan. According to royal biographer Robert Hardman, when the Queen held a tea party at the Lahore Fort, all men and some women were excluded. The 200 women who did attend were only allowed within 15 feet of the Queen, subject to a medical test and X-ray attesting they were healthy. Hardman even mentioned that one crestfallen Lahore matriarch could not meet Liz because she had a sore throat. So that was the 10 most protected people in the world. Which one surprised you the most, and have we missed any out? Let me know in the comments down below. Also give this video a like and subscribe to All Time 10s if you have not done so already. Be sure to click the bell on there too, so YouTube can tell you when we've made videos. In the meantime though, this All Time 10 video is right there for you to watch. Do so now please.